powerful winter storm swept across the upper Midwest during the Thanksgiving holiday period, striking Minnesota and Michigan with heavy snow, strong winds, and dangerous cold. The fast-moving system arrived from the Rocky Mountains and carried enough moisture to fuel a broad shield of snow. Arctic air followed behind it, dropping temperatures well below freezing. Weather agencies described the event as one of the most disruptive holiday storms in recent years. Major highways were closed, airports were overwhelmed, and emergency crews faced a sharp rise in incidents. In Minnesota, the transition from rain to wet snow unfolded rapidly on Tuesday afternoon. What began as light showers thickened into heavy flakes within a short window. Winds intensified through the evening, with gusts exceeding 40 miles per hour in several communities. The combination of blowing snow and plummeting temperatures reduced visibility to only a few yards. Roads that had been damp a few hours earlier turned into sheets of ice. Travelers attempting to begin their holiday trips encountered sudden whiteouts and lost traction almost immediately. Snow accumulations grew steadily across the Twin Cities, Duluth, and the Arrowhead region. Most areas registered between 6 and 10 inches of snow, while inland pockets reached totals above 12 inches. Plows moved continuously, but the snow fell fast enough to recoat roadways soon after they were cleared. Interstate 94, one of the state's most traveled corridors, experienced periodic shutdowns as crews responded to collisions and jackknife trucks. Drivers abandoned vehicles on shoulders when blowing snow obscured lanes and forced sudden stops. The National Weather Service issued a winter storm warning stretching from Tuesday night through Wednesday afternoon. The alert urged residents to reduce travel and prepare for temperatures expected to fall below 0 degrees Fahrenheit. Schools announced closures in advance, and several counties activated warming centers as the cold settled in. The rapid drop in temperature created layers of black ice beneath the new snow, further limiting mobility. Power lines sagged under the weight of ice and wind, raising concerns about outages as the storm intensified. Michigan faced a two-stage assault from the storm. The first wave arrived between November 25th and November 26th, carried by a quick-moving Clipper system from the west. The Upper Peninsula and the shoreline along Lake Superior recorded the earliest heavy snowfall. As cold air crossed the warmer waters of Lake Erie and Lake Ontario, lake effect bands developed and intensified. These bands created narrow but extremely dense corridors of snow, burying some communities while leaving others only lightly coated. The highest totals reached between 20 and 35 centimeters, especially near the lakes. Forecasters warned that a second wave would develop early the following week. A shift in the polar vortex sent a new surge of Arctic air toward the Great Lakes region. The new cold pool was expected to combine with lingering moisture and reinforce the ongoing snowfall. Michigan transportation officials described the timing as particularly challenging because thousands of holiday travelers were already on the move. Road crews cleared one round of snow only to face another set of heavy bands a short time later. Both states experienced widespread infrastructure strain as the storm unfolded. Major travel routes in Minnesota, including long sections of Interstate 94, closed repeatedly as collisions multiplied. In Michigan, Interstate 75 and several state highways were shut down or restricted when snowdrifts blocked lanes. Airports were hit hard as well. Minneapolis-St. Paul International reported more than 150 delays and cancellations, while Detroit Metropolitan Airport exceeded 200 disruptions. Packed terminals and rescheduled flights created long waits for passengers who hoped to reach family gatherings. Public transportation systems were slowed throughout the region. Buses struggled to maintain schedules as intersections became clogged with stalled vehicles. Trains moved cautiously through corridors thick with drifting snow. Emergency dispatch centers were inundated with calls reporting lost control, rollovers, and stranded motorists. The heavy snowfall and strong winds combined to create fast, changing conditions that challenged drivers and first responders throughout the holiday week. In Minnesota, state police documented more than 400 vehicle incidents within a single 24-hour period. One of the most notable pileups occurred near St. Cloud, where more than 25 cars, trucks, and sport utility vehicles collided in a chain reaction. A wall of blowing snow reduced visibility to almost nothing as drivers approached a curve on Interstate 94. Vehicles slowed abruptly, but the icy surface prevented effective braking. Dozens of motorists suffered minor to moderate injuries and were transported to nearby hospitals. The pileup shut down the interstate for several hours while crews cleared debris and treated the injured. Michigan reported even higher numbers. More than 600 traffic incidents occurred during the first 2 days of the storm. A serious crash near Kalamazoo involved an interstate bus that skidded on an icy bridge and struck a guardrail. More than 20 passengers were injured, and several required immediate medical care. A large truck overturned in the Upper Peninsula after a wind gust pushed it sideways on a slick roadway, blocking a major lane. Another high-impact pileup unfolded on Interstate 75 near Flint, where more than 40 vehicles collided in dense snow and high winds. Emergency workers described the scene as chaotic as they moved from car to car, checking for injuries and clearing a path for tow trucks. The storm's impact extended beyond transportation. In Minnesota, more than 50,000 homes lost power when heavy snow and falling tree limbs damaged lines. In Michigan, outages exceeded 70,000 households. Utility crews worked long shifts in bitter temperatures to repair equipment and restore service. The extreme cold made the work slower and more hazardous. Schools across both states canceled classes. Local governments opened emergency shelters for residents without heat or for travelers unable to continue their journeys. Meteorologists explain that the storm formed when three major factors aligned. Cold Arctic air pushed south into the Midwest, lowering temperatures enough to support widespread snow. A low-pressure system, known as a clipper, raced eastward from the Rocky Mountains and delivered moisture to the region. At the same time, cold air passing over the relatively warm Great Lakes generated strong lake effect bands that intensified snowfall in localized belts. When these elements combined, they created conditions ideal for a major snowstorm. The timing during a period of heavy holiday travel increased the impact and strain on the region. Experts noted that the event highlighted the interconnected nature of transportation, energy, and emergency services. A single extreme weather system triggered hundreds of collisions, widespread airport delays, significant power outages, and mounting pressure on first responders. Officials emphasize that changes in climate patterns may lead to more frequent and more intense winter storms across the Midwest. Unpredictable shifts in temperature and rapid transitions from rain to snow could become more common. State leaders acknowledged the challenges revealed by the storm. Agencies began reviewing response strategies, early warning systems, and public communication protocols. Authorities urged residents to treat winter storm advisories seriously, to postpone travel when conditions deteriorate, and to prepare vehicles for cold weather. Safety officers emphasize that driving during a snowstorm places not only the driver at risk, but also everyone else on the road. As the storm slowly weakened, snow continued to drift across open fields and major highways. Temperatures remained dangerously low, and wind chills posed additional threats to anyone outdoors for extended periods. Officials warned that roads could refreeze overnight, even after plows passed through. Residents were asked to avoid returning to highways until conditions improved. Warming centers and shelter locations remained open for anyone in need of assistance. The Thanksgiving week blizzard of Minnesota and Michigan demonstrated how quickly conditions can shift in late autumn. Heavy snow, powerful winds, and severe cold tested transportation, energy, and public service systems across two states. Thousands of people were forced to change plans and seek safer options. As the region moved toward recovery, the storm served as a reminder of the importance of winter readiness and the need for ongoing awareness during periods of extreme weather.